but it's time for another episode of the NBP Show. As always, I'm your host, Dalton, bringing you the latest action in NBP-Pro. Let's get this guitar off and on the wall, and we can jump right in to everything that happened during Season 9, Week 1. So, we're actually going to start it off in the Old World Division. But let me get in front of the camera for you. So, as mentioned, Old World Division, starting it off with Ancient Empires. Ancient Empire Division had a Skaven team, Yu-Gi-Oh!, taking on a Dark Elf team, the Nagaroth Bolts. There was a little bit of everything for fans of Blood Bowl in this one. We had bash, we had agility, we had touchdowns galore, and we had excitement because this game came down to turn 16. There was a 2-1 lead by the Skaven team, and they were holding on to that victory pretty tightly, but the Dark Elves managed to bash their way through and score to make it 2-2 and close out the match with a draw. It was a spectacular game by Matt Zucador and Legend T, two MVP veterans here, squaring off in Week 1 and getting the draw. Then we move on over to the second Ancient Empires matchup, which saw NBP Park Life, coached by fantastic Dr. J, his Orcs there, taking on the Haunting of Men, which was Jonah 2005 UK's Undead team. Two very stacked bash teams as my cat jumps on my camera stand. Sorry if it got a little shaky. My cats are kind of just doing whatever they want right now. Hold on. The cats are running around the house doing what cats do. You know how they are. But we saw Haunting of Men taking on NBP Park Life. Two NBP veterans here. I believe they're both returning teams as well. And this was another one of those crazy bash matchups as we saw the Haunting of Men end up taking a couple of key one-die blocks that got them that 1-0 victory. So that kind of shakes things up there in the Ancient Empires with the Haunting of Men being on top of AE. And then we move on down to the second division of the Old World Conference, which is Beheaded Kings, seeing Pong Hang and Orion Magic going on against a bag of chodes, Blink Nuts 666's Chaos Dwarfs there. So Wood Elves versus Chaos Dwarfs. You kind of expect the Chaos Dwarfs to come out and beat up some Wood Elves while they run away. That's basically what happened. You got the Wood Elves coming out and showing a good display of agility, not getting too hurt, able to score a touchdown, making 1-0, a good little lead there. But then a bag of chodes was able to bash their way through and, strong arm a touchdown, put the touchdown in the bag and nobody gets hurt kind of situation. And basically what happened there, a 1-1 victory, a good little draw matchup in Week 1. It's always good to start out with a draw. A win is preferred, but it's always spectacular to start out with a draw opposed to a loss in Week 1. And that's actually what everybody in Beheaded Kings did. It was a draw all the way because the next matchup saw Small and Mighty Kodak Cookies team taking on Wheelie 365, a former Knuffle Challenge Series champion, returning here with Boxing Clever. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's halflings versus humans, halflings versus orcs, something like that. I'm probably wrong. I should have done a little better homework, but here we are. I'll get it right next time. In an exciting matchup of two MVP veterans here. Wheelie 365 with a lot of prestige. You always expect him to play well, and he did, but Kodak Cookie played just as well as he managed to get the 1-1 victory, or the 1-1 draw, I should say. Not a victory, a draw. But, maybe a moralic victory there, a victory in spirit, in the fact that you pull out the draw week 1 and get a good placement in the standings. Oh, my camera's a little lopsided from the there we go, from the cat earlier. But yeah, Beheaded Kings 1-1-1-1-1 all the way down the board, all draws, so they're all tied for first place. Beautiful going into week 2 here. Let's see if they can repeat that. Imagine 3 straight weeks of them all just drawing each other. What do you do then? Everybody's like 4 or 3 draws. But anyways, that gets us down to Cold Hearts division, our fresh division for the old world, where we see a new coach here, and I don't think he's new to Blood Bowl, but he's new to NBP. And that's JG 1357 and the Halloween Plebs, a necromantic team, taking on another new coach here at NBP, and I think also a veteran to Blood Bowl, Omega Deviant, the Blood Moon Wanderer. So we had the Necro mirror match, werewolves all over the field. Just all over the field there were werewolves, and they were howling, and they were scratching, and they were biting and clawing, and they clawed their way to a 2-1 victory. Who you say? The Halloween Plebs. The Halloween Plebs managed to come out on top there in the necromantic mirror match. That's almost a tongue twister there, necromantic mirror match. Anyways, yes, 2-1 victory. It's a good victory. Again, always good to start off the season with a win. Then we get down to the next matchup for Cold Hearts, which saw Bubba Tattoo and the Palmer Keg Killers. Those dwarfs love to kill kegs. Might as well name your team after it. Taking on S130 South and the Wapley Wanderers. And S130 South is a veteran to Blood Bowl. I know that's true. I've played him in a few leagues here on PS4, and he's a great coach. A very good coach. Always fun to play against him. I've had only positive experiences when communicating with him. Taking on Bubba Tattoo, a returning coach here, but a fresh team. And the Dwarves came out, and they killed some kegs, and they almost killed some Dark Elves. I don't think anybody died, but I'm sure some were very close to it after the pounding that they took. The Dwarves came out and pretty much had their way on the pitch and had a 2-0 victory there. So it was very good to see those two veteran coaches squaring off. And it's always good when you're a dwarf coach and you get that win over elves, because sometimes they're just too sticky and they get away from you. They're too quick for you. But that wasn't the case. The agility didn't help out in this instance, and the 2-0 was the way it went. So that actually put Bubba on top of the Old World Conference, followed by JG. So our fresh teams out here from Cold Heart Division representing the Old World. Followed by Jonah 2005 UK Ancient Empires, and then Legend T tying with Matt Zucador, Nagarath Bolts, Yu-Gi-Oh! Respectively from Ancient Empires with their 2-2 draw. So that's kind of like the first 4 places in Old World. If you want to see the rest of those standings for Old World as well as the conference standings, check the Discord channel, Old World Conference. There's an image there of the spreadsheet. The table, the league table. And so that clears away Old World for us. Let's hop on over to New World. The New World, the USA, the colonialist trash. Starting out with Deep Dark, we have returning champion Kamakozy and his Nuffle Challenge Series champion team, Get Confident Stupid, a beautiful team of Lizardmen, well-developed, against In the Shadows, another well-developed team by another MVP veteran here. So former commissioner taking on Shushnik, former Tar and Feather champion, I believe. I think he won a Tar and Feather division a couple seasons ago. He always finishes strong. He's always a good coach here in MVP, bringing on some vampires. So it's good to see some vampire representation. A lot of those undead guys are out there, doing it big for the not-so-alive players. But the dice were just not on the side of Shushnik in this one. This was one of those matchups where Nuffle just decided that it's not your turn to win. And that's kind of what happened. The vampires were both an SPP farm and, just failing dice. If the dice had been differently and been even, we all know that it would have been a very, very hard-fought match for both coaches. But the Lizard Man team managed to beat up on those vampires and get the 2-0 victory. One of the very strongest wins here in Season 1. Week 1, I should say. Then we go on down to Cook 9000 versus DKM 96. That is the New World Order, a Chaos Squad, versus the Malevolent Malware, who is also a Chaos Squad. So we had another mirror match here, a Chaos mirror match this time, and this match was amazing. I watched from turn 1 to turn 16, and it was just a beautiful display of violence. There were hooves flying, there were horns flying, there were fists, feet, bodies. There were just people flying all over the field as these teams hit each other, drop kicked each other, gored each other, and even killed each other on the pitch. The NWO has a Minotaur who is nasty. Look out for the Mighty Blow Claw Minotaur out there, folks, because he's going to blitz you and he's going to hurt you, because that's what happened here. Late in the game, with a 1-0 lead after scoring on offense, Malevolent Malware was looking to score on their own offense. I should have said scored on defense. They took the ball away in the first half. They were looking to score on defense, make it 2-0. NWO was not going down without a fight, because they blitzed a Chaos Warrior and outright killed the guy. It was like a 12 on armor. And then after that, it was almost a 12 on the injury roll. Then it rolled dead on the APO. We APO'd it. It rolled dead again. Then just for laughs, in the Discord, we rolled the APO again. 2 different players did, just to see how dead this guy was. This guy died like 4 times. Like straight up. Nuffle just said, nah, he's dead. We're not saving this guy. This Chaos Warrior who was going to level up, who had Mighty Blow and block, he dead. He gone. He can't play Blood Bowl no more. And that's exactly what happened. But despite that fact, Malevolent Malware was able to hold off. They were able to hold back the onslaught from the other Chaos team and get that 1-0 victory. They held strong, I will admit. They had a chance to make it 2-0. Actually, several chances. But the dice, after that player died, the dice just went the other way. The complete other way with that. And it was just madness from there. Several times, Chaos Warrior picks up the ball, drops it. Picks up the ball, drops it. Picks up the ball, drops it. Beastman picks up the ball, drops it. And so the 2-0 was denied there by Nuffle himself. But still, a 1-0 victory is a victory. Might have had a player die. Still a victory. Moving on to Saltworks, the fresh division for the New World. We got Morks Orcs, Fury of Anon, a GFCL veteran, taking on Blitz Among Us, one of our newer coaches to NBP. I believe a tabletop veteran, but this is his first season in NBP, and that's Godzillios, bringing in another vampire team. We got a lot of undead representation here. We're an equal opportunity league. We don't care if your player's dead or not. If you got a zombie, cool, bring him on. Got a werewolf, cool, bring him on. Mummies, yeah. Tomb Guardians, cool. But anyway, we got the Orcs, coached by Fury of Anon, taking on those vampires. And, it was brutal. It was a brutal matchup. The Orcs coming through, just swinging those big old green fists around, grabbing a couple thrall, punching a couple vampires, kind of how it ended up playing out as the Orcs took on a 3-0 victory, the biggest win here in Season 1 so far. 3-0, that's a +3 margin, and that's a really good victory. Unfortunate for Godzillios that his first game here in NBP was a dicing like that, but I'm sure he can recover next week. He's a tabletop veteran. He knows that the dice swing like that. And I would really love to see our vampire squads bounce back next week, because both of them kind of got the raw end of the deal on the dice this week from Nuffle. Some vampires need to go, sacrifice from thrall for Nuffle. Nuffle's mad that they're keeping them all to themselves, so he's giving the vampires the bad dice. So my vampire coaches out there, go sacrifice some thrall to Nuffle. He'll be fine. He'll be appeased by the blood offering, and then you'll get good dice next week. Don't quote me on that though. So next Saltworks division matchup, we're gonna see the Meatmen, coached by Joe Cole. That's a new coach as well. He plays tabletop. He's got a North squad that he plays on tabletop. I think he also has a Chaos squad. But he's playing the Chaos squad here in the digital edition versus Knockout Joe, an MVP veteran, making a deep run in the playoffs before with a Bretonian team, if I'm not wrong on that. So we had the Joe versus Joe mirror match here. And the Chaos squad takes on Praise the Joe, a human squad. And it was very unfortunate for the Meatmen because they couldn't manage to get much offense going. And so we ended up with a 0-2 loss for the Meatman. Praise the Joe, showing his veteran status here, getting the 2-0 victory. That clears away Saltworks. So now we move to the last division, the one we haven't covered, Tar and Feather, where the Thundercats, Thundercats, ho, FC, taking on The Cure. It's Friday. And I'm feeling in love with the performance of The Cure. The hard counter to Wood Elves, all that disturbing presence out on the field, making it harder to play with the ball like the Wood Elves love to do. It was still a fantastic showing by the Wood Elves. A lot of agility out there, showing what makes Wood Elves good. That's Juan C, by the way. Juan C coaching the Thundercats, whereas SC Bear, Playing Bear, he has had some name issues with PSN eating his teams. He changed his names and lost like all his teams. We got Focus to fix it though. So his Nurgle team taking on the Wood Elves, and the Wood Elves managed to score. Thundercats did grab a touchdown, but the Cure, the Nurgle team, was able to get 2. Very uncharacteristic of a Nurgle team as well. Scoring 2 touchdowns in one game to beat a Wood Elf team? Wow. Was a very spectacular display of Blood Bowl by both coaches, but Playbear was able to edge out the victory in his return here to NBP of Week 1. So the final matchup, yours truly, and my Chaos squad, Baphomet's Bestowed, taking on a Chaos Dwarf team. That's returning coach Rebel Knight and the Turf Pirates. That's stacked, absolutely stacked team of Chaos Dwarfs. He's got like a strength 5 dwarf, just a regular dwarf. He's strength 5. Dude is nuts. Absolutely. And he's got like claw on top of that. He's just scary. He's a very scary guy. When I got onto the pitch against this team, I was intimidated by the players I had to go up against. He's got an amazing Bull Centaur, 2 amazing Bull Centaurs. One's got like a move up. He's got another strength up guy. Just a very well-developed team and a very good combination of skills that made it onto the pitch there. I received in the first half. I tried to get down and score, but that team said no. They said, "You're not scoring today." And I was like, okay, yeah, you decided I didn't score. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, your player said I don't score. Okay, that's good. Because Nuffle also said that I wasn't allowed to score. The dice were there. There were some opportunities, but didn't work out. Second half, a little bit of a different story. The second half was all fists. No flips, just fist. Because they were going at it. The Chaos Dwarfs received and ran up the left side their left side, my right side, and they established a pretty strong cage. But I met that cage with a wall of players, and the dice were just in my favor. The dice were pretty even throughout the game, but there was a string of things that made it in my favor, I will admit. The dice helped me out very well. There was an instance where a Sure Hands Hobgoblin tried to pick up a loose ball, and he failed to pick up, failed the Sure Hands, ball scattered. People failed to catch. There was a bunch of catch fails. The ball went all over the field. So many players. There was a sequence of 9 dice rolls where somebody tried to pick up this damn ball and nobody could. and it was just crazy to see some players playing hot potato. That's one of my favorite things in Blood Bowl, is to just see the ball just bouncing from player to player to player to player in a long string of dice. And then the ball got loose. A player managed to scoop it up and go running in. A Chaos Warrior, he met some opposition, and a failed dodge by a Hobgoblin luckily gave me a victory. Because the Chaos Dwarf or Warrior was able to 2-die blitz a Minotaur, get a double POW, and walk in for the 1-0. So it was a very hard-fought match. My nerves were rattled the entire game. Shout out to Rebel. Such a great game, Rebel. Such a great team. So that clears away Old World. Hey, let me bring up the standings here real quick. And we will get this episode squared away for everybody. So I have the official standings for the entire league. I'm not going to give all 24. You can view the rest of those as well as your conference standings inside your Discord channel. So please do check those out. I made those tables up for everybody to kind of see the progress, and I will be updating those as the weeks advance. So first place over the league with his 3-0 victory is Fury of Anon and Morks Orcs out of the New World Conference Saltworks Division. Next place, Bubba Tattoo in the Palmer Keg Killers. Another cat may jump up and shake the camera, hopefully not. Palmer Keg Killers out of the Old World Cold Hearts Division had a 2-0 victory. They're second place in the league. Number 3, returning champion, former commissioner, Kamakozy, Get Confident Stupid from the New World Conference Deep Dark Division had a 2-0 victory for third place. More than likely, this is kind of like a tie for second place, though, between him, Bubba Tattoo, and the next coach, number 4, Knockout Joe, Praise the Joe, New World Saltworks Division with a 2-0. All 3 of those coaches had a 2-0 victory. So they're definitely, tied for second place. So that's top 4. We might as well get top 5 or so. Next up is Playing Bear, the Cure, New World Division out of Tar, or New World Conference out of Tar and Feather Division with his 2-1 victory, managing to score 2 touchdowns. And then JG and the Halloween Plebs, Old World Division Cold Hearts. So we have double representation from the Saltworks and the Cold Hearts up there in the top 5. A lot of ties there. And then you got me and DK down there in 7th out of New World, Tar and Feather, and Deep Dark respectively with our 1-0s. If you want to see the rest of those standings, though, I got all 24 ranked from 1 to 24, and that's in the Discord channel. That'll be in general. But other than that, guys, that's all I got for you. There's no more Blood Bowl action to cover here. Just a shout out to you. If you want to get a piece of your game segmented on the show, send me over a match report. Send me like a short little write-up of some crazy events that might have happened in your game, and we'll plug them on the show so everybody can see them. I want to try to give everybody equal representation and equal exposure here on the show. I don't want it to just be a segment of the same few coaches getting shout-outs. I want everybody an opportunity to get shouted out. So if you had anything crazy, or if you just want to say, hey man, I scored 2 touchdowns, or hey, I scored a touchdown with a player who leveled up, let me know. That's like league news. People want to know that stuff. Even no matter if you see how small or how big it is, share it over and we'll try to get it plugged on the show. But I'm running out of space on my camera and I'm running out of time for this. So let's get it closed out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Hit that like button. And if you hadn't already, please subscribe so you can get updated outside of the Discord. Get updated on YouTube itself when I upload one of these. You can see the info. But before my camera cuts me off and I run out of space, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.